Namaskar, hello to everybody, and welcome to the last evening of the series of 5 conversations, Dance Across Genres. This has been organized by Art Vision in collaboration with the India Habitat Center on the occasion of the 25th celebration of Art Vision. Art Vision was founded in 1996 by a group of artists belonging to different disciplines like art, dance, literature, theater, film, and just to have a common ground to share creative ideas and experiences. So keeping in line with that, the 25th anniversary has been celebrated by this Dance Across Genres, where artists from different disciplines are presenting their talk and interacting between each other. So today is dance and bhakti. As classical dancers, we go through years of rigorous training in a very codified and systematized grammar of the body, with precise rules pertaining to each movement. Every gesture has to be executed in a particular way and has a specific meaning, and no deviation is tolerated. It is through this codified language that we express devotional longings and we offer our prayers to the Almighty. How different is the expression of devotion through dance and songs for a Baul practitioner? What is it that dictates the way her body moves while singing the devotional songs? So this is something which is going to be addressed tonight by our dear Parvathy Baul. And she is, of course, very well known, doesn't need much introduction, but just let me tell you that she is, of course, a practitioner, but also a teacher from the Baul tradition. The Baul tradition of Bengal is deeply rooted in Gyan Bhakti and yoga through music incorporated with dance. Parvathy took her initiation and trained under Sampanna Guru Sri Sanatan Das Baul and Sri Shashanka Gosai. She started performing in 2000 and has performed in more than 42 countries since then. In 1997, she co-founded Ekatara Kalari in Tiruvananthapuram, a space dedicated to traditional art forms and meeting of its practitioners. She founded Tantidatri, International Women's Performing Art Festival in India in 2012. And she founded also Sanatan Siddhashram in Birbhum district in Bengal, a traditional Baul Gurukul dedicated to Baul learning. In 2019, she was awarded with the prestigious Sangeet Natak Academy Awards. So now, before giving the word to Parvathy, I would like to ask you to, of course, mute your mic in between while she's talking. But then at the end of her presentation, we'll all be very happy to have your questions, which you can put in the chat box. Or if you want to come on the screen, just raise your hand and we will unmute your mic. So now to you, Parvathy.
Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru Ileana. Thank you for having me. It's always a delight to be with you.
Thank you.
To have in your, there is something special in your presence, your energy, and all the dedication and love towards the Indian dance, bhakti, and spirituality, the way you have adapted all the teachings of your Guru is so inspiring. So it always fills my heart meeting you. So thank you to spend this little time with you. And before I start to talk about bhakti in the dance or dancing bhakti, I offer my humble prayer to all my gurus, Sanatan Das Baul, Shashank Gosai, and also Ravi Gopalan Nair, who actually has trained me for a long time. And before anything else, I would like to remember Parama Guru Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who showed us the path of dancing bhakti. So in the first sloka, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived a long life. He lived in Jagannath Puri temple and he often would sing and dance. And his dance was soaked in bhakti and it invoked the rasa of devotion in all his listeners and in all of the peoples who were listening to him. So in the first sloka, so 8 verses that we find of him. And he tells us why he sing and dance. So in the first verse, it goes like this. Oh, Sri Sri Guru Pado Harusha Matrosha Darpan Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandambudhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. clean the mirror of the mirror of the heart which has accumulated dust over the years. To clean the dust of that mirror of the heart, I sing and dance. I sing and dance because it rises the moon of the supreme wisdom. It stirs the devotion inside. I sing and dance because it grows my joy more and more, more and more. Let this Sankirtana of Sri Krishna have the victory over every heart. Let it touch the hearts of those who are suffering, those who are in happiness, those who are in isolation, those who are in the celebration of togetherness, everyone equally. Baul Parampara, before it came into the Vaishnava Parampara, it was a Natha Siddha tradition, which is coming from the Shiva Parampara. So the dance that we have received from these masters, they were connected to grow the Shakti within the body. Shakti means the energy through the work of breath. It was dancing pranayama. And then they incorporated sound in it. The sound was not really always a music. It was sound that came from the different resonators of the body. It vibrated with the movement of the body, especially with the connection of the feet, the footwork on the ground. So it has a direct connection to the Muladhara. And from Muladhara, then there is a passage going upward through the bed. So for that purpose, they had incorporated dance. So you said if you sit and do pranayama, what happens? Of course, you can sit and do pranayama. But when you are dancing, the whole body is in movement. Your breath is in movement. So the mind starts become still. The mind starts becoming quiet. And then it becomes focused in this meditation. So the Baul dance that we see today, it is actually a meditation in motion. And so this only when the Vaishnava Parampara came into the Baul sphere, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the Bhakti Rasa, then it brought the beauty or the aesthetics. Then it became music, poetry, dance, movement, everything together. But what you really experience looking at the Baul is this movement that's happening within, which is a dance, you can call the dance of the Baul. It is very spontaneous. It's just happening out there. And like other dance forms, you have to fix a score because there is a musician, there is certain story and everything. We also have the story, but it is not fixed. Every time you sing the song, the dance will change and you don't really know what will happen. But it doesn't mean that you don't need to train. There is a lot of training and lot of fixed elements there in the Baul dance. But the only thing is that when you do it, you are totally blank. You're like a totally blank canvas. And then you grow your dance through your music. Since you're not dependent on other musicians, you can very easily find the bhava of the song within your body. So first come the bhava. First you sing, then come the bhava, and then come the dance. So you start singing and you get into, and who has a long years of practice, who has repeated these songs again and again, just with the twang of ektara, or just with the sound of the ektara, they're immediately inside the song. So it doesn't take much time to start dancing with the song because they know the song so well. So first is the song, then comes bhava, and then starts the movement of the dance. So here I will share, before I go into anything else, I will just show you a video of one of the performance of me. I did it in Bergamo, Italy, uh, in the Teatro di Cascabile, where I am singing and dancing. It has several movement, so maybe it will help you to see the dance of the bowl. Sorry. My teacher was very much against recording, writing down, notebooks. You have to learn directly. Oh, I have to stop that video. 1 second. The words, remember by listening became very. As you can see, I'm not a super technician anyhow. So so in this one, this song that you can see, I mean, all the movement is not there, but basically some of it is there. I will request to open all of your videos so that I can see you. Those who are in a very strange circumstance, you don't have to. But if you if you are not, then please open. And so basically the dance that you have seen in that, it is not choreographed, yet it has a very specific way of movement. So how we start our training is that, for personally, if I say, I started dancing very early in my life. My first training, I took my training from the age of 3. Like, I hardly could walk and I fell down often while dancing, because my father says to me that my first word was to him was like, I want to dance, is before I say anything else, like I want food or water. So this was my first word to him. And I first studied Kathak, and my guru is Srilekha Mukherjee. She's very well known guru in Kolkata, and I've studied with her for until age of 16, when I decided to explore more and more things. I became a very rebellious child in a way. So I wanted to break away from everything. And so I took visual art. So then for me, when I came to Baul, I discovered dance in a very different way. Previously, when I was working with the dance, I had the rhythmic patterns. I had a very fixed way of, the talas, and also the discipline of Kathak. And there was a part of storytelling also in it, which actually helped me to understand Baul dance or practice it. But when I came to the Baul, I understood the body in a completely different way. And for me, I had to start from my standing first. And every movement that I was doing, more than the beauty of it, more than the how precision is the step or anything, the main focus of the teacher was on the breath. Where is your breath? So breath came first. To enhance the breath, then came the dance. So when we start, we don't learn choreography, but we have certain ways which we call kriya. And this kriya are the specific movement with breath. I will share my screen once again to show you a very short glimpse of one of the kriya which I was doing in one of the workshops. Usually these kriyas are not documented that much because they are not supposed to be seen, but the filmmaker was clever. So since it is there, I will show you. One second. You can see, I hope.
Yeah.
My teacher was very much against recording, writing down, notebooks. You have to learn directly from him. He would say, you follow the words and you have to remember when you sing next. By listening, it is very, very strong, very attentive. That because I can't miss any word. It is a short one because he was not supposed to film. So there are certain kriyas like that, which is specific movement, but you could hear that I was asking to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So it is a very much connected, deeply connected with the breath. We practice everything separately. We work with the dance in this way, and then we work with the music separately, and then the instrument, the coordination of instrument separately. Then we incorporate everything together. That's how we work with the dance and the music. So there was my teacher, we never had any kind of very formal training, in the sense I would follow my master everywhere, and he will suddenly start singing and dancing and say, follow me. Maybe you're in the middle of the field and rice field, and we're going for it because we are follow a spiritual path. We have to do bhiksha like the Buddhist monks. So we go for bhiksha from village to village singing, and suddenly in the middle of the field, he will get into this mud water of the rice field and place his feet, and he will ask me, lift it up, place it back, lift it up, place it back. Like that, he would train me to say that you need a light feet. The bowl has light feet. So you must experience first how heavy it is. And for that, he would take me to the rice field. So his teaching was in this way. And then another time, when we dance with Nupur. So this Nupur that we receive, it is a very special occasion with the Guru. He gives the Nupur only, anybody can buy a Nupur from the shop. But when you receive it from the Guru, it is a very special thing. It's like he is giving you the authority to dance after him, follow his path, take his footsteps. So to practice, we it's not a ghunguru. Nupur is like anklets. So these anklets, you must have seen the dance of oracles in like in Thayam, or in the oracles in the temples of South India. They also wear this kind of chelambo. And the most beautiful dance I have seen with the chelambo is in the Kannagi temple, where men and women, they wear this chelambo, and they have this dancing with a certain kind of singing. And they are in a total trance. So you see, Baul is a borderline between this trance and transmission. Baul has a different function. It is the person who is dancing is experiencing some kind of things. That's for sure. The one who is watching is also experiencing something. When I say something, it means this transcendental feeling that they're experiencing. But at the same time, the Baul is completely aware, because they have to transmit the wisdom of the song. They cannot forget their lines. They cannot, and they have to be in contact with the audience who is in contact, and also have to like communicate. So whatever this experience is happening is also part of this whole thing, like singing, dancing, and instrument, and this experience of the otherness. That is also inside. This is also part of it. Yet it is not expressed fully. So there is a complete, it's like how you control your body as dancer. You don't overdo with your emotion. You don't overdo with your body. Everything, how much you lift your hand. Maybe this much lifting, it dies. There's more effort. But how much you lift, which becomes very expressive. So that when with the emotion, it is like that. You don't have to like overdo things. Even with the spiritual experience, you don't have to go trance, you can hold it. And that's the control you learn with the breath and the movement. This is the control you learn. So there was another, I will not, I've already hit the clock. It is already 9:32. I want to
No,
show
don't
you.
worry, don't worry.
Yeah, I want to show you because Ileana was asking me if I have worked with dancers, other form of dancing. Yes, I have done a lot. And I have been always fascinated by the dance and different kinds of dance. And it's not like anybody dance, one who has that real experience, those dancers. So here is one clip I want to show because she said that it will take me 3 minutes. I worked with a contemporary dancer from Australia. Her name is Narelle Benjamin. Very, very fantastic dancer she is. And then one Sri Lankan dancer, her name is Anandavalli. So we worked in Australia. So there is a good video of this. So I'll share my screen again and you can see that how we incorporated, because storytelling is also part of the bowl. So there is storytelling, the dance and the music together. We have not used anything from our outside, no recorded music, no other musician. We did everything ourselves. Created, even Narelle created the beat with her body, which is not in the video maybe, but it was very beautiful. I will just share this screen.
Strings are made of great illusions or playful Maya.
Okay. So I open up the session with questions.
Oh, okay. I think there are some. I was so engrossed. I thought you would continue. So, no, I was wondering the kata training that you had before in your previous avatar. It must have helped a lot in terms of sense of tala, and also I suppose the control over the footwork and the whirling movements. So I think that it must have. I mean, we can see that there is a training behind, and that is. And also, I wanted to ask, but when you say that, when you sing and perform, you are totally engrossed in your bhav, but also you cannot overstep because you cannot go into a trance because you don't have to forget that you are also transmitting. But it never happened actually that you went to a trance. It never happened in any of the your performance to forget where you were.
Yes, to be honest, yes, it happened. But in my initial years, when I was having my experience first time, and I remember I was dancing and singing in Calicut. It was raining outside and it was pretty cold inside. It was a air conditioned hall, but I started experiencing fire in my body and my whole body was burning. Uh, Anand Vyasji, can you please switch off your, can you mute yourself?
Yeah, mute yourself, please, Anand. Okay. Problem.
All right. So
Yeah.
then and then I experiencing this fire inside my body, and it was it was in a different realm almost altogether, because the audience and everything vanished. It was this tremendous suffering with my body, and then there was something that, and when I finished my singing, I don't remember the lines, but they said that I did finish my singing. And then when I came down, I could not recognize anybody. But I smiled and I ran to my green room and I closed myself because it took me long. And then I kept on pouring water in my body to cool down. It took me almost 40 minutes to calm down. So these are very initial years because I was very new to all these experiences. But now all of this, even if something happens, it's very little. Nothing happens.
Now you are an experienced performer.
Yeah, it's like when the mother first birth they give, it's a lot of pain. But when you have 8 children, you don't feel anything anymore. But one birth happens. So, so it's like that, I think.
Yeah, experience teaches. So let me open the chat and see. I'm sure there must be Jai Guru can. Okay. Any specifications of any bhakti in Western dances? Okay, Biswajit Das is asking if there is any specifications of any bhakti in Western dances.
Well, I am not an expert of Western dance, so I cannot really say anything about it. But what I have seen in my experience meeting the dancers, my more interaction I had with the contemporary dancers in the West. And I worked with very specific people. For example, Narelle herself. She is a very devoted yoga practitioner, very spiritual person. And she incorporates, you can never see her training. This is another mastery of a dancer, not to show the training behind. Because what you present is like my Guruji used to say, you cook and serve very beautifully. Don't show your kitchen because it's a mess. So all this training that you have inside You don't show it out to people. You don't need to, because if I start explaining all the things that we go through, it takes away that magic. So this is my master used to say. And it's rigorous in a way. So Narelle is a practitioner, and her movement, that you can see that is a lot of influence of yogic postures in her, even though she is in a dynamic positions. And so there are dancers who have inspired a lot from the martial arts of India and all of that. And along with that, along with this kind of body practice, because all of this work, uh, be it yoga or be it martial art, uh, the inner, if you try to get into the precision of any of Indian art, you need to have the spiritual context. You need to have that understanding of Shastra. You need to have understanding of scriptures and the depth. Because for a practitioner, in Kalaripayattu, when they learn, they said, we are not learning to fight. We are learning to know the body and to become the master. And they are great healers because they know the marmam so well that they can easily heal people who come with some fracture or something like that, because they can also heal themselves. So all of that is included. We have in the modern world, what is the problem of us?
Divided.
Is that we have divided everything. Hold on a second. If you want to be a dancer, Odissi dancer, for example, I'm taking with permission of Ileana. It is not on the stage that life ends. If you want to grow your art, if one wants to grow one's art, and if one wants to really enjoy and have the complete rasa of Odissi dance, one needs to pray to Krishna, to Devi, because this visualization, when you are in connection. Yesterday, one of the Damodar Goshai, one of our very great teacher of Baul, we had a satsang, and he was saying that the moment you can see Krishna as a relative, because he is the ultimate light and we all came from him. It's like if you light one lamp, then you can light many other lamps. Similar way, he is the one who is the Pita or the Srishtikarta, the creator. And then we all have come from him. And the moment we recognize that we are nothing but his incarnation, you will dance only for that. There will be this fulfillment, the joy. Well, how come the spiritual practitioners are so happy, even in the worst condition? It's just because they have only seen the divine. And they have done japa and dhyana. That is the tool. But for a dancer, the tool is the body. This every movement, if it led towards the divine, every action, if it led to the divine, it will bring that samadhi, the experience of samadhi, experience of ananda within. It is not you have to sit in a cave. You can just dance and the divine will be there. So this is my feeling about dance. So for me, I don't see, so I am sure that when we hear about Nijniski and the kind of there is one book I had written, I had read that he used to jump high and then land slowly. I mean, who can do that? One who is a master of breath. So he had this inner, and then at the end, they said that he went crazy and he was in asylum. And I completely believe he was a must, because he worked with his breath so much. He went into the state of must. The must people are also, like you have seen in the Meher Baba and all of them, is that they go into a kind of realm where it looks very different than all of us who is in this physical realm. Or even how you see the Gurdjieff movement, how it was incorporated later into the theater work, into the dance work of many people. So there has been the element of spirituality in Western dance as well. And if there is no devotion, there is no spirituality, for sure.
Yeah, it may be not a God image, the iconographic of a God, but that involvement and that, yeah, that is for surely there in many artist life, intense life of many artists, we can see it. And maybe those are actually the one which they don't live long because they're more difficult. It's more difficult to adjust to this world when you are too much spiritual oriented. So it's possible that we have any other question. Otherwise, yeah. Also, the circular movement. It was very interesting to see, and also to relate to the Sufi movement, for example. And so I think the circularity, which is like the circularity of the art and the circumambulation of the temple, and so all this goes around the center. So that I suppose that is to the meaning of this. Why is so much associated with all these ecstatic and spiritual type of dances. So I saw that in your dance also is very much part of probably of the training, apart from the footwork, which takes the energy from the art, but also the circular movement. So I think these are, if I understood properly, these are two elements which are part of the training. Of your training in dance.
So we have training with basically the yoga is very much part of our training. We all Baul masters, they as their part of their training, they have to have this hatha yoga practice every day. Okay. And then there are certain work with the body which is connected to the alchemical work, and like it's part of the practice. And then we have, if I go directly to the dance, there will be this footwork, that is one aspect, then the movement, and because the work with the foot and the movement, there are two different elements. The footwork, it is the movement of the fire, and
sorry, the movement of
the footwork, movement of the fire.
Fire.
So it will increase the Shakti in the body. Shakti means the Muladhara Shakti. And then the movement that is flowing, like moving to different direction, that comes as the element of water.
Water.
Yeah. And then the spinning that you see, that is a practice, is a movement of Akasha. So with that, the more you do that movement, you very naturally, you can do it yourself. Or those who have been whirling all the time, they will know. So what happens is the air goes upward and the mind also goes upward. And then what we create is the sense of space. Because, in one of the Charyagiti in Kanhupad says, Kanhupad is one of the 84 Siddhas, is a Natha Siddha, Bodha Siddha. And he says there is a world beyond this world we cannot see. Like the butter is hidden in the milk, similar way there is an invisible world beyond this world. So the work of a Baul dancer is to be in that world. So it is a connecting point. All these kriyas is a connecting, a gateway to that invisible world. Because they have to manifest that thing, because Baul is talking about this spirituality and you have to manifest the bhava. My master used to say, Sanatan Baba, that if you yourself understand the song very well, if you really see the song very well, then the person who's listening to you also will understand. But if you yourself is not clear about the meaning, not clear about the bhava, they also will not be clear, as simple as that. So for that reason, if we talk about this otherness, then we need to cultivate that inside us. If we sing of bhakti, we need to cultivate bhakti inside. Complete surrender. And that is not only in the for a Baul, it says the Nataka, Nirvana Nataka, we call it. The theater of Nirvana. So the theater continues 24 hours. A moment is not left without surrender. This surrender is not an expression just outside. It has to be inside. It has to go inside. It has to manifest every 24 hours, even while one is asleep. Then only the dance is complete. Even in the sleep, one is conscious of this surrender. One is awake with the surrender. Then only the dance will get complete. We have to go to that perfection. We call it siddhi. But siddhi is not something that you walk on the water or you jump into fire. Siddhi is this inner perfection, this complete awakefulness.
So your gurus are no more alive now. The two guru which were.
They're in that invisible world. So they're very much there, more there than before.
Okay.
I feel all the time their presence. When I sing and dance, I feel them. I live in the time. So when I see the children whom I saw, 10 years ago in the village, and they come by, and I say, oh, so many years passed. I'm still there with my Guruji.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is somebody raising their hand. Chitra Dasarathi.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Namaste. I just wanted to say today you mentioned about the movement of the fire and the akasha and how the water, how the body becomes almost those elements. I was just reminded of, I heard you sing Lolite Kinam Shonaili. And there is a cadence that you sing in that, in which you Lolite, you are on a high note, and then you kind of glide down towards a lower note. And in the process of that, I did experience a feeling of, of finding that Lalita and the life within that, whoever that Lalita is. So, and since you brought up the idea of within the movement, bringing up the elements of water, fire, and akasha. So I also feel that, in the cadence of the breath, which is released as song and music, the movement kind of melds. And thank you for that explanation about how the movement represents these elements and then becomes part of the body. Thank you.
Yeah, tell me. Complete.
No, I just was, when you were saying that, your voice of Kinam Shonaili, I think the words are, if I'm not saying them wrong, Lolite Kinam Shonaili, or some song like that. I do remember and that song has, and the words and the way the music glided down and the body moved. Today I found words for that from you. Thank you.
Yeah. So there is something that very interesting what she has mentioned. It just came to my mind while listening to you. Is that you see when we say bhakti in the dance, for example, what happens that we have some kind of imagination what is bhakti, right? Like we have to show something, whatever it may be. And we have to show this, this longing and this, like, I cannot really explain, but I think you understood, because we have certain idea of bhakti. But Gyan Bhakti, what Baul is proposing is this, to hold the bhakti, because bhakti is this ultimate fruit of your sadhana, ultimate fruit of your yoga. It is the most mature state. It is complete in control. So even when you are going to that state, all these layers of practice, which is your kitchen basically, where you are preparing your body with the breaths, with the very precise movement, with the precise spinning and the voice and the rhythm. But at this moment of bhakti is the space of unlearning it. But you can unlearn and you can surrender completely to the divine only when you have this element. Then only you can express the bhakti completely. You can really bring that element of bhakti completely. Otherwise, the bhakti will not function. Bhakti will become a very poor expression of something, like some emotion. But bhakti is not just, it's a ripened, mature state. For example, yesterday we was listening to a master, with us in our Gurukul, and he says that in the whole Gita, Bhagavad Gita, it goes on talking in the first chapters about yogas and karma and about all the principles. Bhakti comes only at the 12th chapter, towards the end, because he prepares Arjuna completely to be able to see what is this complete surrender. It is a highly, because people have very wrong idea thinking that bhakti is something very easy. Baul is also called Sahaj. Sahaj means something easy. It's the most difficult one, because there is no method it can teach you. There is no way written. There is no sketch. There is no scriptures, nothing. It's a complete, mature, ripened state of pure surrender. And when that you want to bring down to your body, because this is also an image we have that everything is up, divine is up. No, his Baul said, bring it down. Make him live with us, in this world, with us, in this body. And the dancer is expressing, the temple is the body. So when you bring down divine in your body, then you need to hold that energy, that Shakti. Only with yoga will grow ahankar, ego. The skills grow our ego, but the bhakti makes it mature. So then only this whole adhara, the body of the dancer, is complete. This is why the element of bhakti is so important in all our traditions of dance, music, spirituality. Even the Vedantins who is saying neti neti, there is nothing, I'm not this, I'm not that. Even they are saying that without bhakti, there is no way further. Because there will be ahankar. I'm not the doer. So when I let my body dance according to the tune of Krishna, the flute of Krishna, the body will dance itself. I don't have to dance. I'm taking too much time. I've already hit.
No, I think now you have to take your hectare and say and with the with some sound and voice and which will remain for the rest of the night in all of us.
Okay, so I will sing. I will tell you the meaning of Ektara. So this is Ektara. What is this meaning of this Ektara? Tumi chile Ektara. You were Ektara. Ektara means also one star. So you were in the sky, in the layers of light, which is beyond what we call physical sky with clouds and all of that we see. There is a beyond that. There is a plane of light from where we come and we go back. So you were one star out there and you have come. And if one can take the Sharon, if one takes the Sharanagati of Ektara, one forgets the world. Which way will I know you, my Ektara? You are the most mysterious yantra I have seen. Only one string made of wood, bamboo, and leather. There is a simple bead and a copper coin. And then you have this string. But when you play, it is like the river in the spring. If one listens to the true Ektara, then one sings in that cosmic sound. Listening to Ektara, the Fakir, Darvesh, Sai, they all left their home. It's only the path of Guru can lead us to the space of Ektara. Tumi chile Ektara, hole Ektara, chilo nam Zohura, asmano yupar. Tumi chile Ektara, hole Ektara, chilo nam Zohura, asmano yupar. Tamar sharan laile duniya jay go bhule, ebe ki কৌশলে সাধিব তোমায় তুমি ছিলে একতারা, হলে একতারা ছিল নাম জহুরা, আসমান উপর তুমি ছিলে একতারা। নিচে লাভের বশ চামড়ার ছাউনি, তরল লবসের শক্ত বাধা জানি, তার উপরে কর্ণ কাটি অতি পরিপাটি, যেমন ফাল্গুন নদীতে জোয়ার ভাটা বয়, তুমি ছিলে একতারা, হলে একতারা ছিল নাম জহুরা, আসমান উপর তুমি ছিলে একতারা। একটা তামার পয়সা আর কাচের মালায়, যেমন ফাল্গুন নদীতে জোয়ার ভাটা বয়, তুমি ছিলে একতারা। সাধু দরবেশ শুনে তোমার তান, ঘর বাড়ি ছেড়ে হলো রে অজ্ঞান। সাধু দরবেশ শুনে তোমার তান, বেশ সুখ চাঁদ সায়ের তরুণ বক্স ভাব সর্বক্ষণ তখন খুলে যাবে তোমার সপ্ত স্বর্গদ্বার তুমি ছিলে এক তারা হলে এক তারা ছিল নাম জহুরা আসমান উপর তুমি ছিলে এক তারা তোমার শরণ লইলে দুনিয়া যায় গো ভুলে এবে কি কৌশলে সাধিব তোমায় তুমি ছিলে এক তারা হলে এক তারা ছিল নাম জহুরা আসমান উপর তুমি ছিলে এক তারা।
Thank you so much. So you're really precious. So much to think about, so much inspiring. I think there is somebody who was trying to ask something. Parvathy Ma, do you foresee starting an online dance song class in the Baul tradition?
I forgot to say that. So there is an online akhada.
Yeah.
You see, this is what happens anyhow. So I'll share my screen again and just show you quickly. So we just launched it yesterday. It is with the concept of, sharing an online akhara, learning center. So it is you can, when you click here, you can so you can go into the akhara, we can get into the akhara, and then we can practice these songs. And then we have this kind of a library where you can also read more about the Baul work and all of that. So it is a lot of exploration that can happen with Baul online akhara. So it is a very basic first page. So you can go this, and this is the learning center. And I want to quickly show you my gurus. Without them, everything is unfulfilled. So this is Sanatan Baba. You see in the first picture, you see how he's standing. And so he teach me dancing. And then I have my guru, Shashank Gosai, who is sitting. He is 99-year-old in this picture. And he taught me dancing by putting 2 bamboo poles on the side because he needed help to stand. But he used to put his balance on the bamboo pole and show his footwork because he could not stand long time on his leg. So then so he taught me dance in this way. And here Sanatan Baba again, my Guruji, the first picture Guruji, but he's very young, perhaps younger than me in this picture. And he's wearing that nupur I told you. And beside him sitting his teacher, his spiritual teacher, Manor Thapa. And just beside you see the master Nitai Khapa, who was a great dancer. Just a legend, he's a legend of this dance. And he taught Sanatan Baba dancing. The last picture you can see Ravi Gopalan Nair, who actually trained me. And in the middle is the Sufi master, Abdul Salam. I spent 12 years with him understanding about this world of beyond what we see.
Beautiful. So it's very tough to end.
Ileana, I just take a time because I love dogs. I can think that you have a beautiful listener in your screen.
I can't see the listener. Wait, where?
Look at this. Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, what the eyes with the With kajal, eyes with kajal, yes.
Yeah, so.
Wow. So, my dear Parvathy, it's been so lovely to hear from you and to meet and to connect. So I think on behalf of all of them, all of you, I am really very much thanking you. And it's not easy to leave you, but I think we will have to, yeah. Okay, somebody else is asking.
Next time. We take it next time.
Next time, yes. Okay. So good night to everybody, and thanks again, Parvathy. Thanks a lot of love to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Parvathy. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night, those who are in India and those who are in the other places.